Hello, my name is Andrew from Jake on Gaming, and I'm here to play Stormrend. Yeah, one of the first comments I want to just say is that the art here is beautiful. The shadow casting, the fire there, it's got a very cartoony feel to it, but I think that still blends in very well with everything that's on the screen. The music is gorgeous as well, definitely sets the scene, as well as this like eerie set that you have here. I would say that initially one of the problems straight off the bat is the audio from the game sounds very, very loud. I play games at typically 50% desktop audio, and that's fine for a good mix. This one playing at 50 seemed to be playing at something that would be put out 120. This isn't to say that there's a problem with the actual sound design or the music or the effects or anything. I think the blend between them is at a very good balance. It just everything's overall sounds very, very loud. But with that, we'll just get into the game.
Hello! Didn't see you there. Why don't you come a little closer? Warm
Yeah,
yourself.
so this is a second recording I'm doing, adding in all the additional notes that I had, speaking with Tony as well.
Rouse your spirits with a little story.
Now I have seen this full cutscene.
Valor,
I think
the very fate of the realms
this
hangs
leading
in the
into
balance.
it, like the center point of the fire, is a very good start.
We all know it's like
I do like this
spread
actual charcoal
across
look.
the
I'm actually a big
realms,
fan of it.
sustaining us.
Perhaps if it was more polished up, but I feel like the gameplay is
Has its sight
more important at this
destroyed.
stage.
Frost trolls, wicked creatures of malformed intent.
Your
who
voice
exist
actor is
only to
amazing, by the
destroy.
way.
Their goal: corrupt the world tree's energy and plunge the realms into an eternal
I do like this little
winter.
referential, the scream.
With
That's
the
pretty
very
funny.
fate of the realms at stake, the gods summoned their champions to come to the world tree's aid. It is here where our story begins, at the base of the world tree, with our three champions, the evil frost trolls, and, most importantly, you.
And yes, there is that as well. What a meme.
Is the first to arrive at Helik Verdez,
So the first
greeted with danger.
time playing this part, I made the comment that you can move around using the WASD keys, which is pretty standard of a game. I also feel like you should be able to move around by clicking and holding to a location as well, which should be pretty standard of other RTS games as well. However, that's a very minor nitpick. The one I had the most problem with is the character UI. So initially I didn't understand this, and that these were upgraded points to your abilities. The numbers were very off-putting. Even reading it, it just kind of didn't make an entire lot of sense. I thought these were advanced skills, which I guess in a sense they are, but you use up that. So Tony did explain that every character essentially has two skills. This one and this one. So knowing that now, it'll probably be easier to play. But one of the things I was doing was clicking here and then trying to click a spot on the enemy, moving there. I was having a lot of trouble figuring out movement as well. Oops, wrong one. Left clicking back is good as a back button. I press escape then to try to get back to this point. So you move, then you make your attack as well. Yeah. Yep. All right. I do like this zooming in and zooming out feature so you get a better layout of the land. That is nice. I think your environment, all the elements here working it's beautiful, and I love the character design up here. That's very lovely done.
This'll be a slaughter.
Now move here and end your turn. This actually took me a little while to figure out the first time that you could next your turn. I feel like there should be a button here that just bypasses that, but does come up with end your turn or something here. But this is fine as well. Here, so click on the character. The initially clicking on your character thing was a very confusing mechanic. Okay, so this was another problem I had as well. So sometimes it'll move your character over here after you've clicked it and teleport you when you're trying to select a skill. Speaking with Tony later on, he says that that's a problem that they feel like he's fixed at this stage. But yes, it has now put me in a position where I can't kill him. So I will need to pass my turn. This first encounter, however, it feels fairly balanced. Now I'm having a problem moving. There we go. So clicking on my character and then having that movement but not being able to move was a very weird bug, I believe. Click on him again. Yeah. Clicking on him again. Yes. So it may not be evident in the first level. That's very loud. This may not be evident in the first level, but in some of the levels, I'm getting very distracted by the audio as well. It's very loud in my ears.
I am where I need to be.
And I put my general audio on my computer at 20 at the moment. So it's pretty low. Moving here, and then, okay, I can continue moving, and then use that. Yep, building up that bar. And then this doesn't tell you specifically that you can move to your other character, and it also doesn't give him the option of movement. So I don't know if that's a choice where you have movement only for one character, but I can't move now, and it essentially renders him kind of useless in the back line here. And so yeah, I just F'd it in my turn, essentially. There's maybe a mechanic that I'm not missing. A comment I did make is that even putting up a splash screen here, just saying this is how your characters work, this is how the game mechanics work, would be really nice, because you're just kind of really thrown into the deep end at the beginning.
I'll kill them all.
So he's going to move up, and I'm going to use his provoke and see if I can get some of the enemies off her. Okay.
Into the fray. Give me more.
And then click on him. So I know it says move and attack again if an enemy killed. So I don't know if that procs only when you have 2 rage here, or your meter is at 2, or if it's something that happens as soon as you get 2 or you kill someone and you're allowed to do it. It's not made very clear. These numbers are pretty confusing in general, though.
I'm here now.
Oh, no, I just tried to press that again.
The light guides me.
So I can't do anything with my second character. I'm not really sure why. But then the skip, he goes down. Now in my previous playthrough, I wasn't actually able to beat this level. So far I'm having much better luck. Yeah. Yeah. And same as always. So in some of my previous playthroughs of that level,
Is this doom for our daring
I also had it
defenders?
so that the enemies would attack me twice, sometimes on their go. I've got confirmed that is a bug and that shouldn't be happening. But yeah, so let's go into a waterfall.
Oh no! Is this doom for our daring defenders? Not quite. The sage arrives, bringing with her the power of nature and death.
Now, I did make the comment before that these individual display pictures, they're very solid. Each and every single one's very beautiful art, but I feel like they're a bit of a departure in style to each other. So you have these two here, which are very face-on profile images, but this one having a 3/4 turn, and like a bit of like wind effects on her as well. I know that she's meant to be magical and it's meant to stand out a bit. The continuity does seem a little bit off. I do come from a graphic design and animation background, so I'm nitpicking at that. The art itself is very gorgeous. But looking at your Valkyrie compared to your Berserker, your Valkyrie has very soft lines around her, and your Berserker has some hard lines and it's very harsh and it's got deep tones. Looking at both of them, it feels like the style changed a bit, and then this one, entirely different composition. The art itself is solid. It's very gorgeous art. I just feel like the continuity is just a bit off. But if I were just a normal person looking at that, I wouldn't have paid it any attention. Maybe something a little more than just a kind of plain color background, even a gradient on there would be absolutely great. Even suggesting if light is coming here. So if you have the light here, you have the darker tone red and a lighter tone red, just so it's that. And same here, if you have a lighter yellow and a darker yellow, lighter blue, darker blue. Other than that, it looks fantastic. Now using her ability the first time, seeing this, I kept trying to click on this, getting unprompted, not really understanding what I was doing. I'm doing this, selecting that.
You belong here.
Now it makes more sense. That these aren't abilities in themselves, they're upgraded to your abilities. I still don't quite understand the level 2 and everything. It's a little confusing still. And not being able to move once a character's done an action, I feel like all the movement has to be done for each character and then each action, I believe. So let's try that.
Show me where they are.
Okay, so we don't want her to move yet.
Fate guides me.
So let's move you here. Unclick you away. Okay, so every character has to do their movement first before you can. That's something that's not very made clear.
This realm.
I feel like it should work either way, that every character can do a movement and then is locked down by their action, but that you can do them individually of each other and not have a whole turn phase of movement and then action. Or if you do, make it very clear on the side here that it is a movement phase and have a note saying move all your characters where you'd like them, and then another action phase where you have your characters do their actions, if you were to combine each of those different things. So even if you click away from them, you understand that if you start an action on any character, you lock out that entire movement phase.
Stay back.
Okay, she's invisible. I feel like that's a bug of sorts. Okay. So first off,
I'm here
I
now.
do want to move her here. And then
Everything
move
in
you
place.
here. No, I don't want to.
My axe is thirsty.
Let's move you here. And then get out of that. First of all, we'll have you place that there.
Fear not. I am here. The light has arrived.
Yeah, so that's something I did notice as well. The abilities of your teammates affect your allies as well. That includes damage, so he's probably going to get damaged by that. If you're creating a game that's going to be that harsh, where your abilities are affecting your enemies just as much as they do your allies, or vice versa, to say more accurately, that should be stated as well at the beginning, that anyone's actions can affect anyone, that you can put on friendly fire, that friendly fire is on by default. Yeah.
Death is only the beginning.
We'll move you into position and we'll go. Okay, so that was a bug. I went to attack and it just teleported me away. I've lost my movement phase and now I am in a bad position where I can't move anyone really. And I'm kind of just locked into this stalemate. I could have blocked the path potentially with the mage. But obviously being a bit discouraged by that fact. Also, I did an attack action.
The light guides me.
Thinking that I'd still be able to do movement on these. That is my mistake on my behalf. But I think it is one that a lot of your audience might be making as well. Yeah. Alright, I don't have a lot of option here. I'm going to move out of the way there.
Stay back.
And then end my turn.
The cycle must be restored.
So first of all, we're going to move you out of the way.
I'm here to restore the cycle.
And then we're going to have Mr. Berserk Pants come over here. Actually here. Then we're going to start doing, actually no, here instead. This kind of friendly fire I'm talking about. Actually, I'll show an example. And then we'll go this.
I am where I need to be. You are wicked.
Yeah, you see? That's not cool. I'm not a particularly big fan of that.
Tremble before me.
But it is a possibility in your game. Which, you know, I don't mind if that's a part of the game, but it to be stated at the beginning is very fundamental. Or if it is something you learn, it is something, a harsh lesson you do learn in it. I feel like there should be some preface to it at the beginning.
The cycle must be restored.
I don't want to put that near anyone. That's going to go next turn. Okay, I'm dead. Oh, okay. Fair enough. So I click off her.
I'm here now.
Into the fray.
Okay.
For glory.
And this will probably be my first time actually winning this fight. Or not. That just didn't hit him. What? Okay, yeah.
Our trio of warriors proves
And lastly, this last
the barrier
level.
that once protected the world tree has been broken. Our heroes must destroy these trolls quickly and restore the barrier before it is too late.
Fear not. I'm here.
All where it needs to be.
put it there so we at least do some damage to him.
Into the
And
fray.
then have you
For the light!
attack that way. And you to cleave this bitch. Yeah. Ah, so this, I believe, no. So there was a point here in my previous recording where these guys had another turn and demolished my berserker, which was totally uncool. Let's click him. Unclick that because I feel like I'm going to end up moving. So I think the problem came with the fact that you try to select here, you want to click on that, but it'll move you in the background because you're still over this part. So it prioritizes movement even though you're above the button, and the button clearly is over this. So suggesting that this button has priority when actually the underlying mechanic underneath has the actual priority. But you move across to a zone that you can't actually travel to, and that probably fixes that problem. And I'll have my...
Everything in place. All where it should be. You belong here.
Yeah. Oh, that did not heal. Oh, okay, yes. So I need to build that up. Alright, well then we'll do this. Not. Well, you know what? YOLO. Yeah, this is a test run. I did purposely kill him. I think I've said most of my notes at this stage. I do love the game. I love the title, Stormrend. I love everything about it. This here, I'm not too sure what this is. Blizzard meter. Okay. Oh, that's the thing that happened the last map. I never lived long enough for it to actually happen.
I'm here now.
So move there. I am finding that sometimes at the beginning of turn I'm not able to click things because I have to unclick, because I think from a previous round it still has things selected, but it doesn't show up that it is selected.
Fate guides me. You belong here.
Yeah, that works fine. I'm actually really happy how the game plays. But understanding it is pretty tricky. This encounter, however, feels a little bit bullshit. I feel like... Yeah, you see, like I still have my character selected here, even though she's dead. And
I'm here now. Into
clicking
the fray.
that fixes that.
I am where I need to be.
Then going like that. Yeah. I love the character designs. Coming from a character design perspective, they're really solid. I love the Valkyrie's look. I love the Berserker, you know, the typical Viking kind of look. Everything feels like really Nordic. And that's just... I'm a big fan of Nordic kind of feeling, so...
The light
You know,
guides
that
me.
appeals to me.
You are wicked.
This ability here doesn't seem very useful. So let's move here. Let's try this now that I have 3.
Stay back, beast.
Okay, I see. You do that to activate it, but I die anyway.
Please.
Yeah, and she just disappears sometimes.
Is this doom for our daring defenders?
Huh. But yeah, that's me playing a game. Overall, I am a big fan of the game. I do love its style, its art. I love the way that the gameplay would work. Those skills in the just previously.
Hello. Didn't see
Shoot.
You
You should be able to have a stage selection as well from the screen if you've been playing through it. Here.
The barrier that once protected the world
So
tree
with
has been broken.
this here, this here, this here, this here, they should have like an indication, a better indication that when you do have your charge up and you do select it, you're not selecting this, you're selecting the upgraded version for them. I noticed that during my last fight. So you do that. These should be entirely grayed out when you can't select them. Then come to this color when they become possible. Let's say if you have 2 and you have that filled up, so that now becomes this color again. And then you can select it much like this and then attack. Instead of having them all light up and having the feeling that you can use them straight off the bat, I feel that creates the most confusion as a player. But other than that, yeah, love it. Love all of the elements of it. Love this even, like how that moves and where he faces. It shows you where he's going to be looking. I like that. That's very... I wish more games did that. They probably do. I don't usually play this type of game, but I do love this as well. Yeah, but that is my review from Andrew from JCon Gaming. I hope this has been helpful. Yeah. And I should be sending links to all of you so that you'll be able to view this privately on my channel. Thank you. Peace.